All right, YouTube, I'm going to walk you through how to repair a dent like this in your truck. So as you see, we have a dent right in here. So I tried to access it from the backside, but unfortunately, I couldn't really get to the dent. I ended up trying to go through here. That was a no-go. I went through here to the speaker and I was able to get some access, but not really what I needed. I also tried my hydraulic little claw thing, and yeah, still couldn't get it without risking damaging the window guide. So we're gonna go through kind of a tutorial on how to use a weld-on stud gun to pull out this big dent without distorting the metal. All right, so this is the Harbor Freight Chicago Electric Welding Dent Repair Stud Welder Kit. So straight out of the box, this is what it looks like. So you have your welder, you have your slide hammer, and then you have a various sizes of studs. These would be for bigger dents, and then the head for that. These are what you're majorly going to use for smaller dents or stuff that doesn't require as much pulling. But this is what it looks like straight out of the box, straight from Harbor Freight. All right, so here I removed the paint to be able to weld on the little studs. I'm just using a regular little angle grinder with like a 3-inch disc on it. But you want to remove enough paint and give it enough bare metal that the head, when it makes contact, it'll actually weld. So if you don't have enough paint off of there, it'll spit, it'll sputter, it won't weld, and then your stud is not going to go on there. So we'll get into putting the studs. My target area is this center of the crease right here. I'll probably put a couple studs and then pull, and as I pull, I'll take my smooth face hammer and then I'll try to work these high spots out. So we'll pull the low spot and then push in the high spot. Hopefully we don't get a distortion, but we'll see what happens. All right, so I already got a couple studs welded on. So what you have to do is you have to be able to push this in and make this contact the metal. So you have to have enough bare metal exposed, otherwise it's not gonna weld. So I put it in the crease, I push in. There we go. So you guys see how I struggled a little bit. I didn't have enough bare metal exposed, so it was a little hard. And all you need to do is just give it maybe a half a second zap. You'll see it kind of turn red, and that's it. All right, so now we're ready to use the slide hammer. So the stud goes in a little hole and it grips, and then when you get ready to release it, you just pull it back. So it's got a grip, and I'm just going to give it a gentle tug. Just working this crease out just a little by little, not too hard. So I got a little oil cannon effect right here, which is not really what I want. check it. It's still in, so we'll do it again. Trick is to do little by little, not to overpull or overstress the metal. A little harder this time. Now this slide hammer ain't the greatest. It's a little janky. But from Harbor Freight, it's doing a job. Check it again, it's still a little low. So this time I'm going to use my hammer. I'm going to put a little pressure on it and I'm going to tap around. So typically when you're dealing with this, you'll have a high spot up here and a high spot here and then your low spot. So as you pull your low spot out, your high spot's still there. So you tap it down and it brings it all level. This whole time that I'm tapping on the hammer, I'm keeping pressure. So I'm pulling. I'm trying to just gently massage that metal out. So what we may have to do is come in between these and weld on more because this is still a little low. With my hammer, I'm just gently tapping, just trying to ease that metal out. All right, now that we got our dent out, I'm going to feather back the coatings using my 3-inch sticky sander. So what you want is you want about 1/4 inch between each layer showing. So right now this is not quite enough. So I'm going to feather this back. Okay, so I noticed when I was feathering the coatings back that the repair area has a little bit of an oil can effect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a gas torch, heat it up to where the metal just starts to turn blue, and then we're gonna rapidly cool it off with a wet rag. And this will cause the metal to shrink. So there's really no way to shrink it any other way. This is a common method. It's not the only method, but this is kind of a common practice. I wish I had a oxyacetylene torch, but all I have is a benzomatic MAP gas. So we're going to shrink this metal. See how that kind of took away that oil can? So this is just, got a little bit more right here. Just so we heat it right till it hits blue and then rapidly cool it. And that's how you shrink metal once it's stretched.